All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hey everybody, welcome. It is 9 o'clock on a Wednesday night. We're about to jump in and start here. I'm just going to give people a little bit of time to get on the call. There's quite a few on here. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you coming out to join me. If you've been on my webinars before, you know that I'm not going to do a whole bunch of fluff and keep you all night. I just want to get to the point. So, we're talking about traffic for your funnel, and I'm just going to wait one more minute here. Just give me a one in the chat box. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me. Perfect. Lots of guys on. Holy cow! Look at them. Wow, I'm impressed. Thanks, guys. Mike, Dustin, Kush, Hale, Ed, Ray, Lisa, Pierce. How's it going, buddy? Parody, Jack, Valentina, David, Luke, Robert, Jimmy. Sorry. My best friend's name used to be Jimmy. That's cool. He lives in Australia now. Dustin, hey buddy, long time no see. Mandy, Ben, Ed, Juanita, Kay, Andrew, Steve. Man, we are packed. Packed house. Awesome. Timmy, welcome. Okay, let's dive in then. Everybody's here, so let's get this party started. So, first of all, what's a funnel? Okay, this is kind of, if the webinar is about traffic for your funnel, then we should probably define exactly what a funnel is. And that's just simply where people go before buying your product or becoming a lead, or where they go online after they click your ad. That's a funnel. So even guys doing print on demand, I know there's a lot of you in here. I'm one of them. That's kind of the world I came from and live in. Um, when they click through to the print on demand site, like a Gear Bubble or a Teespring or whatever it may be, that's the start of your funnel, that sales page. So you got cold traffic going to your sales page. Hopefully you've got an upsell hooked in there. Hopefully you've got an email sequence hooked on the end. But it's the start of your sales funnel. And this is something where a lot of people really struggle. Okay. I've found that I've talked to a lot of people, and even when you register for the webinar, I ask people, tell me you're in, and then tell me what the biggest struggle is. And I would say probably 90% of the people all said to me that, it's Facebook ads. It's like, I got to be a frigging computer programmer in order to make this stuff work, and I don't know how to do it. So I thought, perfect, because I do know how to do it. I love it. I could sit here and build Facebook ad campaigns all day. That would just be heaven for me and not do anything else at all. Although it'd be a pretty lonely life, I guess. Anyway, if you stay to the end, as always, I've got something special for you. But real quick, for those who don't know me, I know most of you do because you're all in here. That's me. You might have seen this before. That's my mug. I got 5 daughters, all age names. I'm going to spend basically 45 minutes talking about myself, giving you my sob story about how I went from rags to riches. And maybe I'll throw in that I was in jail for a while. And now I'm an ex-felon. No, I'm not going to do any of that. That's not my style. I live in London, Ontario. I love helping people. Founder, PPC coach, trained over 10,000 online marketers since 2007. I'm a dinosaur. That's my little joke because of those gray hairs. That's me back in 2005. Picture of my first check. It was $17,489.53. I have to really squint to see it. I don't have glasses anymore. I got LASIK, and best money I've ever spent. If you have glasses and you're on the fence, man, go do it. It is weird when you sit on that table and the laser thing is like above your head and the doctor's sitting there and they give you these stress balls so that you can get your eyes done and not freak out. But it is so worth it. I mean, the recovery time is super quick too. So the key is, you guys know my backstory. I started out doing lead gen on AdWords. Now I focus pretty much 100% on Facebook ads, although I'm always experimenting with everything. So the key is, I'm not special. Anyone can do this. All right. I need you to know that. Um, After doing this since 2005 online, I learned quite a few things. Okay. And talking about funnels, I'm not talking about doing the funnel. I'm talking about getting traffic to the funnel, which I think is the lifeblood of it. So I'm talking about, I learned about targeting the perfect audience. That's vital. There's 3 reasons most ads fail. And I want to talk about scaling your Facebook ads. It is tough. It's definitely tough. That's the biggest concern with everybody I talk to in my coaching and in my group and everywhere. It's always, how the heck do I scale this? I don't know how to do this. Well, there's a couple different ways to go about it. Some work, some don't. So we just have to keep testing, experimenting, and trying to stay ahead of the curve because Facebook changes so often. It's scary. So you can have the best sales funnel in the world, but if you don't have anyone looking at it, you're never going to make a dime. So traffic is vital. It's for course creators, webinar funnels, opt-in funnels, physical products, print on demand. It doesn't matter. You need traffic, and that's something that Facebook provides. So I discovered all my lessons the hard way by spending my own money. I don't have an agency where I'm spending out other people's money. This is coming out of my pocket. So I got to be really careful with what I spend because I got a family to support. As you saw, I got 5 daughters, got a wife here, I got an ex-wife I got to pay, all that good stuff. So you basically get to cheat and you get the easy way because you're on this webinar. So if you want the easy way to avoid costly mistakes, give me a yes, sir, in the chat box. Yes. I love doing that. You guys are on fire. It just lit up. Like, that is so cool to watch. Thank you, thank you. Cool. All right, so Kanye approves too. You'll see that I throw in quite a bit of memes because they make me laugh, even though some of them are really stupid. So I apologize in advance. Sorry, not sorry, I guess. Okay, so today we'll cover 3 things. Number 1, how to target the perfect audience. I've got a method that I don't even know if all of you have seen it yet, but it is really good. Number 2 is the 3 reasons that most ads fail. And number 3 is how to scale your Facebook ads. So if you have any questions, post them in the chat box and that little question thing. You guys are already in there. And what I'll do, I'll kind of peek at it as we're going. But if I don't get to the question during the webinar, then I will hop back in there at the end and I'll dedicate some time to answering questions live on here. Also, a lot of you are in my Facebook group and it's free. So you can definitely post questions in there. We went over 5,000 members, so I'm really happy with that. Next goal is 10,000. So it's a growing group. It's doing really well, and there's a lot of awesome people in there. All right, so number 1, let's get right down to the nitty gritty. And I just checked to make sure I'm recording this. Yes, I am. Okay, because that would stink. Okay. So who is the perfect audience, right? And I found this meme. So we're all ears. Your perfect audience. Okay. Anyway, it's someone who is interested in your product or service. You could target them by interest. You could target them by customer list. You could target them by custom audiences. You could target them by lookalikes. But I've got a better way. And that way is multiple steps here, but they're fairly simple to do. So I'm going to give this to you. You can implement this like tonight in your campaigns or tomorrow, whatever you want to do. I did it myself today, and I'm getting a great audience built already because it's tough to target. Like if you go on Facebook and you try and target Facebook ads, you can't. They won't let you. You can target Facebook, you can target online marketing, but you can't target Facebook ads. So, I mean, you can target Facebook page admins, but they're not all into Facebook ads. So you need some way to create the perfect audience. And there are some obscure things, like sometimes local businesses too really struggle with that, like a chiropractor or a gym or a dentist or whatever. If they're trying to target people who are looking for them, it's very difficult. So the way that we do it is create a video. And what I say is 60 seconds maximum. Reason being, people have a very short attention span. And also, it'll get on Instagram if it's under 60 seconds. So if it's over 60 seconds, you can't show the thing on Instagram, or Facebook won't show it. So the only thing you're going to miss out on is in-stream videos, which are a maximum of 15 seconds, but I'm not too concerned with that. If I hit every other placement, that's possible. So as an example, sit in your vehicle and just ask people what their biggest struggle is. So for me, I literally sat in my good old Suburban and I just asked people, what's your biggest struggle with Facebook ads? And I'm getting a response on the comments, and I love it. And it's very, very simple to do. I just shot it on my phone. That's all. Now, the second step is post that video on your Facebook page, and then ask them to comment below. So for my example, I said, do you struggle getting traffic to your funnel? Please post the biggest struggle when it comes to Facebook ads below in the comments. And people commented. Now, if I were doing physical products, I could say, hey, do you like this design? Let me know in the comments. And then they'll tell you. And then you can do the next step, which is very, very cool. That is boost the post. Okay, this is one of 2 ways. You can either boost it or you can create a video view campaign for the post. So very simply, you're just firing traffic at your post, and it is a video. People are going to view it and interact with it. So the fourth step is where, I don't know, the best part, I don't know how to describe it, but we're going to create a custom audience of people who viewed the video. So there's several options there where you can do like 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 25%, 50%, 75%, 95%. But the key is the people who view that video. So what, like if you're doing a physical product and say it's a necklace, I do a lot of necklaces, and I say, hey, do you guys like this? And then I hold up the necklace, and then they're going to tell me if they do or not. Well, now I've got a custom audience of people who are interested in my necklace. So I can run future ads to that audience. Brilliant, right? If I'm a chiropractor, I ask a question about their back pain or something like that, or getting adjusted. And then all the people that engaged with my video, viewed it, I can then target them. So this is like the perfect audience. That's why it's called the perfect audience, pretty much. So that is the easiest way to create the perfect audience for your targeting with Facebook. And then you can also take it a step further and you can start creating things like lookalike audiences based on that and a lot of other stuff. Now, here's a question for you. Does that sound complicated to you? Remember I mentioned the computer programmer part? So if there's anybody in here who hasn't really done much with Facebook ads, you're probably going, that just went right over my head. I have no idea what he just said, but that's okay because it's not that complicated. And my follow-up question is, if you had a way to see that in action, would that help you? And these are basically rhetorical questions. They're loaded. I know the answer. Of course they would. Of course. You got to understand, Facebook ads are not easy at first, okay? And brace yourself. Why you have to go and make things so complicated? I say that to Facebook every day. I pretend I'm Avril Lavigne and I just sing it out. Great Canadian singer, by the way. So they do get easy once you've done it a couple times, all right? So if that talk of custom audiences, lookalikes, running video view campaigns confuse you, don't feel bad. It confuses everybody when they're new. Now, if you're a seasoned veteran, you're like, oh, that's a good technique. I'm going to use that right now. And I know we got a good mix just by looking at the video. Oop, no audio. Oh, can everybody hear me okay? I just glanced over there. Give me a 1 in the chat box if you can hear me okay. Okay. Jojo, I think your speakers are muted, my friend, because he can't hear me. Okay, loud and clear. Awesome. Oh, panic attack. I should check that more often. All right, let me scroll back up here for 1 second. Got a whole bunch of ones in there. Absolutely. $5. Oh, God. Yeah, I know. Okay, we've got some good questions coming in. Keep them coming. And I'm going to go through all of them at the end here. I'm just going to continue with this. So it does get easier as you do it more. But like anything, even when you started riding your bike when you were a kid, you probably fell off a couple times, had some training wheels, started slow, you crawled before you walked, before you ran, before you flew. That happens, right? Same with Facebook ads. So the second thing I wanted to cover is kind of the 3 reasons that most ads fail. And this is not necessarily what you think. Reason number 1 is probably what you think, a severe lack of patience. I can't tell you how many people post in the group or email me or talk to me and they say, man, I set up an ad campaign and it's $5 a day and I've spent like $2.51 and I don't have a sale yet. What is wrong with this? And I'm like, patience. Patience you must have, my friend. That's all you need. You can't rush this. You can't, if you're spending low budgets, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But you have to have patience when you do it. All right? Because if you jump the gun and you try and rush things, you're going to spend too much money and not get the results you want. So my advice is give it some time. Okay? If you spend 50 cents in 30 minutes, don't get all squirrely about it. It's not the end of the world. And you have to let Facebook work its magic and kind of do its thing. So be patient. All right. Reason number 2. Daily budgets do matter. Absolutely. Higher daily budgets require more time versus lower daily budgets. Okay, now that's to optimize. But to get results, lower daily budgets actually require more time than higher daily budgets. So it's kind of the reverse. Reason number two, excuse me. I've seen this so many times, it's very frustrating. People quitting 2 feet from the finish line. I love this image. I show this all the time. The dude on top is digging towards the diamonds, the payout. Dude on the bottom's been digging for a while, and he just gives up. And look how close he is to success. That just drives me nuts. I've seen guys that have really good head on their shoulder, and they just quit. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're so close. But it's usually 1 or 2 tweaks away from actually making it work. So if you're the guy on top, keep going. Don't ever be the guy on bottom. And so this dude, Thomas Edison, we all know him. Many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. So that's another key. What I'm getting at is this. Never give up. I love that image. I wish I took that picture. Although I'm not very good with the camera. But anyway, the key is don't quit. Okay? Never give up. Like anything in life, if you quit, you will never succeed. So I do understand, fully get it. Sometimes it's hard. But if you can learn from others who have already done it and surround yourself with positive people who speak your language, you're going to be much, much further ahead. And these resources are there for you. Okay, there's lots of them. There's Facebook groups, there's courses, there's lots of ways that you can get advice and good advice. Some's not the best, but groups, if you've ever tried to talk to your spouse about your Facebook ads, and it just happened to me like today. So I'm trying to tell her about this webinar I'm running some ads to it and I'm getting people on it, and I can see her go, I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, that's where you want to surround yourself with people who speak your language so that you don't drive yourself crazy. Okay, so this is probably the biggest reason. Reason number three, it's a negative belief system. And this is something I've been working on for years, and I still haven't got perfected it for myself. But I know it exists, and I know it's in there with everybody. This is so true, the greatest limitations you ever face will be those you place on yourself. So this is a huge reason that Facebook ads don't work and they fail for a lot of people, because people limit themselves. They think that they can't do it. They think that they can't be successful. They stop themselves from being successful, which is very scary. What if instead of the glass being half full or half empty, it was half full? Or what if you thought, you know what? I don't care what the glass is, it's refillable. What if you change your mindset? So you have to try and really get rid of those negative thoughts. Some people have them more than others, but the key to banishing negative beliefs is instead of I can't, it's I can. Instead of I shouldn't, it's I should. Instead of it's impossible, you have to say, you know what, it's possible. Anything's possible. I look at things like this very webinar that we're doing, and even though I've ran hundreds, I would say, of webinars over the past 10 plus years, still right before a webinar I think, oh man, I can't do this, I shouldn't do this, this is impossible, I don't want to, and I get all these doubts in my head. And then I run the webinar and I'm like, that wasn't so bad, I can do this, I should do this, this is possible. So what am I holding myself back for? So what you want to do before we get into the scaling part is this. Make sure your worst enemy is not living between your own two ears. So your mind's going to play tricks on you. There was a YouTube video I watched a while back, a lady who said your mind is designed to protect you from failing because it's painful, and your mind is designed to protect your body and everything from pain. So if your mind senses that there's a possibility of failure, it knows that the emotions are going to be sadness, distraught, whatever it may be, you're going to be down, and it doesn't want that. So it will stop you from doing things that you should be doing. It's crazy. I can't remember her name. I wish I knew it. I'll try and find it. But I watched the video. I was like, holy crap, that's awesome. So do any of those sound familiar? You're not alone. Okay, all these reasons can be managed. Was it Mel Robbins? I think that was it. Absolutely. I think it was Mel Robbins. Somebody just put that in the chat there. Yep, true. I think she's a blonde lady. Okay, so now my loaded question: what if someone could help you with patience, never quitting, and conquering negative beliefs? Would that help speed things up? And remember, these are kind of rhetorical, but I know the answer. The answer is yes, of course. So let's hop into number 3 here. Time-wise, we're doing well. Number 3, how to scale your Facebook ads. I've got a lot of methods. You guys have seen a lot of my methods, but the thing is, things change very quickly with Facebook. It's the fastest changing platform out there, and I think it comes from Zuckerberg's mantra, kind of, what was it, break things, move fast and break things. He does this with Facebook ads too, because we just get something working and it's profiting and it's kicking butt. And then a couple months later, it's like, wow, that technique doesn't work anymore. What happened? We didn't change anything, but they did on the back end. So now we have to adjust, adapt, and move forward. And that's what I'm constantly doing. I spend 20% of my time, energy, and budget experimenting. And I'm constantly experimenting with new techniques. I'll I'll have a theory of something, and instead of wondering if that's going to work, I actually test it and I see. And that's why I come up with all these different ways. So I've come up with 2 different ways now, even for my last course that I use. They're modified versions of what I used in the past. The stuff that I used in the past still does work, but in order to make it more effective, you have to kind of tinker with it a little bit. And I love tinkering. That's one of my, if I had a hobby, it'd probably be tinkering. So here's what you have to know. As you increase your daily budget, your ROI tanks. And I do mean tank. Okay, so you can be pulling 100% ROI, you ratchet up that daily budget, and the ROI drops. And this happens all the time. Okay, and people are like, well, is that true? Well, I don't want to ever raise my budget then because I don't want my ROI to drop. Fair enough, but if you don't ever raise your budget, then the other factor is not going to increase it either. So yeah, it's certainly true, but your profit should increase, even though your ROI tanks. So what's better? Spend $100, make $100, or spend $1,000, make $500. So your profit in one case is 500, your profit in the other is 100. I'll take the 500. So yeah, I have to spend more money, and my ROI is like half, but that's fine. I'm okay with that. And I think that's where a lot of people get stuck because they get a lot of really good high ROI ad sets going, and then they think, man, if I just ratchet that up, it should continue on a linear path upwards, but it doesn't. So as you increase the budget, the ROI definitely drops. So what I found is this, and even I have much learned too. Like I'm pretty good at this, but I'm constantly learning. People even like I still buy courses. I buy other people's courses because I want to know the golden nugget. I want to see what's working with them, and I want to pick it up so that I can pass along to you guys and also implement it in my own campaigns because I'm not the kind of guy that shows you anything that I don't do myself. Because I'm actually one that I think I'm a hybrid because I actually do what I teach instead of pretending to do what I teach, which a lot of guys out there are good pretenders. Anyway, they make a lot of money being pretenders. So, scaling fails because there's no system in place for it. I'm big on systems. And my newest system for scaling means you have to cherry pick the best ad sets and scale those. So we've got a bunch of different factors going in here. Not to mention this. Not every bidding can be scaled by budget, at least not aggressively. And what I mean by that is if you've ever tried to take an auto bid ad set and jack up the budget, you're going to be in trouble because it's just going to fall apart. Once you hit basically over $50 per day, I've found, it just loses everything. It's like it has an aneurysm and dies. So there's 2 other options for bidding, and that's manual bidding, but there's 2 options within manual bidding, and that is the maximum manual bid and the average manual bid. So one of those, well, they both work for scaling budgets. One of them works better than the other. Okay, this is what I found in my testing, and this is what is actually confirmed from Facebook. So it's pretty cool that way too. But think of it this way, all right? If you think of this is Mount Everest, okay? You want to get up here to the peak, so you want to scale the mountain. But we were talking about patience, we were talking about systems, we were talking about how long it takes, we were talking about kind of cherry picking things. They start at base camp, and you know how long it takes them to get to the top? 2 months on average. It's crazy. But they have to go acclimatize themselves. So they start at base camp, they go to camp one, and then they stay there for a couple days, then they go back down. Then they go back up, then they go back down, then they go back up, and then they go to camp two, and then they stay there. So because of the altitude, they have to make sure their bodies adjust before they move on. And it's kind of related to Facebook ads and campaigns because you got to start at the base camp and then you got to keep climbing upwards. But if you climb too fast, you're going to kill the campaign. And I know that's awful, but it says even right up here, the death zone, right? Lack of oxygen above 8,000 meters can be fatal to climbers. We've all seen the movies. There's one book, Into the White. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, I read it a couple of years ago. It was awesome. And then that movie, the most recent Everest movie out, was about that. And it's all about the climbers, like basically a big storm hit and killed them, but some of them survived. But it's like climbing Everest. There's a system involved, and it's crazy. But to climb this takes a lot of money, and it takes 2 months. Okay. Yet if we relate that back to Facebook and our ads, we always want our ads to scale instantly. Instead of seeing which ones we should cherry pick, we just throw everything out there at a gigantic budget and cross our fingers. So does that make sense that we're going to move that fast with our ads and just wonder why they don't work? Well, no, it doesn't really make sense. Okay? We want to go slower and we want to cherry pick the best of the best. So what I say with my scaling is it starts with the cold traffic campaigns. And these are the ones where the people haven't clicked your ad before, they don't know you from a hole in the wall, and they're just going through to your funnel. And your funnel, like I said, doesn't matter. Physical product, print on demand, webinar, opt-in, course, doesn't matter. You got to crawl first, right? Then you walk, then you run, then you fly. But it's a lack of patience, lack of systems, lack of experience, lack of confidence, and lack of guidance that causes scaling to fail because it starts with the cold traffic campaigns. That's where you find through your testing which ad sets are working, which settings are working, and then you can pluck those like a little cherry out and scale them. So I've got a new method. It's called the cherry picker method. You can scale by increasing the daily budget, but you have to use the right bid type. So I'll give this one away to you. It's the average bid. Okay, I know everybody always says, no. If you do a manual bidding, you have to do maximum bid. I disagree. Through my tests, I've learned that it's average bid. That's the granddaddy. That's the one that can be scaled. And there's actually there's proof of this from Facebook. I'm trying to find it here on my other screen. Where did I put that one? I don't know where it is. If you look on your ad sets, it will actually say that when you're using the average bid, your costs will be more stable as you increase your daily budget. So it's basically Facebook giving us permission to increase the budget. Okay. And what we're looking at is manual bidding, and that allows for this. So you can control the traffic flow quite a bit with your manual bid. So how do I do it? I told you, I cherry pick the best ad sets and focus on them for scaling. I will literally take the best ad set in my cold traffic campaign, I will put that in its own campaign, and I'll scale it. Okay, I'm not going to keep it in the same campaign because I found putting it in a new one kind of keeps it separated a little bit, and it seems to perform better. Plus, it avoids the immediate overlap within the campaign. So far in this webinar, okay, we're about half an hour in, which is right on schedule. Would you agree? Time well spent so far. Now, I apologize, but I can't cover everything you need in the webinar, even if we had all day. Okay, there's just so much in there. I'm on slide number 61, and I'm getting tired. I'm just kidding. I do have a special offer, though. Of course I do. Why would you be on here, right? So you can get everything you need. So give me a 1 if that sounds good. You guys are quick. Holy crap. Awesome. Okay. So if you want to see the things we covered in much, much more detail, almost excruciating detail, then I can do that. Okay. If you want some guidance from an expert who's willing to show you it all, we can do that too. So give me a 1 if you want to see the special offer. I did mention this in the group too, and I wasn't kidding. This is a special offer for you guys because you guys are basically on my list, or you know me from the group or wherever it may be. But I'm going to show you. Just let me proceed because holy crap. Okay, I got it once. If you could see my screen, that'd be awesome. I wonder how we can show that. I don't think we can. Anyway, here's what you're going to get. And I'm just going to throw this out here. I've got this new course. It's called Traffic for Your Funnel. And I've broken down some of the sections here. So there's the nitty gritty setup details. Most of you may or may not need it. I put that about $4.97. Who should you target your ads to? Remember we talked about the perfect audience? Well, I've got that covered in detail. $4.97 value. How should you approach your audience? This is new. Okay, this is something that I haven't shown before, but this is something that helps with your ads because if you ask your audience what their pain points are, it's pretty easy to create ads that are going to attract more people like them. And this is more on the lead gen side than the physical product side, but you can certainly use this for physical products too, the way that I do it. So that's about a $4.97 value. I've run courses in the past, and a lot of people say, I love the section you did on the ads, and you went through Photoshop and you went through how to use GIMP. Can you do more of that? And I was like, yes, I can. So I've got image and video ads now, and they're in detail. Like I'm showing you everything. You're watching over my shoulder as I do it. For video ads, I'm showing you 3 different ways to create them. One of them involves no tools at all. So it's very cool that way. About a $4.97 value I put that at. Then the biggest part is here. I'm separating cold traffic and warm traffic into different campaigns, and I'm showing you a method for warm traffic that I've only shown a couple people, but it's pretty cool. It's a lot of retargeting, a little bit of fancy stuff involved. That's about a $4.97 value. And then we're talking about managing and scaling campaigns. So the total value there, if I add them up, is about $24.85. But I've got some bonuses too. Remember that cherry picker method I was talking to you about? Well, it's a bonus, and it's a long video, and it is something that will make you so much more than $12.97. It's crazy. Works very well. I go into detail how to implement it, how to manage it, and how to scale it step by step by step. And I show you over the shoulder exactly how to do it. So that's the first bonus. Second bonus, how to create the perfect audience for your ads. So remember we talked about that. That was the first thing we talked about. Well, of course, I have an exact demonstration of how I did it and how it works. So you can see that over the shoulder. And remember I said Facebook ads aren't easy, right? So we have to look at people who've done it before. And I put that perfect audience stuff about $9.97. So what you're going to get so far, just adding this stuff up, traffic to your funnel course. It should be for your funnel. I actually made a mistake there. $24.85 value. Bonus number 1, cherry picker method for massive scaling, $12.97. Bonus number 2, how to create the perfect audience for your ads, $9.97. Total value, $4,779. So if all this did was finally make your Facebook ad campaigns profitable, would it be worth it? I think so. If all it did was give you a proven system to follow in excruciating detail, because I love details, would it be worth it? Yep. If all it did was give you access to a group of people who speak your language and a guy who's been doing this since 2005, would it be worth it? Yep. And those are absolutely loaded questions. I hope you can see why. People are paying me $2,500 for me to help them with their ads, and I've kept that low on purpose. And I know you're like, $2,500, that's not low, but it is. I should be charging a lot more, but I really like helping people. It's fun, and I've met some great people, and they've become friends. And it's so nice to have people appreciate you and come to you for advice. And I learn just as much from the people I coach as they learn from me. So it's a wonderful relationship. But you can see why that's a great deal at $4,779. You know, maybe that's a little pricey, but I'm not doing that. I wouldn't do that to you guys. I told you that there's going to be a special offer, and there is. Okay? $9.97 is what I'm going to charge for this course to the general public. This is the first webinar. You guys are here now. I don't have the testimonials yet. I don't have the case studies yet, but I want you guys to be my first testimonials and my first case studies. In exchange for that, I'm going to take 30% off. Okay? This is a gigantic course. There's no fooling around. There's some new stuff in there. There's a lot of new stuff in there that you guys haven't seen that I've been working on with those experiments that I do all the time. So I'm offering that for $697.90. I had to put the 0.90 just because it's 30% off. You can get started now. If you go there, ppc-coach.com/traffic, take you right to the page where you can buy it. Use that coupon code BETA30. That'll get you 30% off. Okay? Now, I'm not done though. There's a couple more things. Bonus number 3. There's support via the private Facebook group. This isn't the main PPC coach group. This is private. This is dedicated only to people in the course. And this, I put the value at $14.97 because you're buying my undivided attention when you get into this group. It's huge. And it's going to be the best Facebook group we have. So, again, get started now. Go there, ppccoach.com/traffic, coupon code BETA30. You've basically got two choices. You can do nothing. Don't take the leap of faith. That's risk-free, right? 100% risk-free. Or pony up a small amount of money. Okay? Compared to what you're able to spend on your own learning the systems through trial and error, not to mention all the value you're getting, I think it's a no-brainer. If you think about it, if you run $25 in Facebook ads for, I think it's 27 days, you've just spent what you would have paid for the course. And if you're running that, that's pretty low budget, right? I think it's a no-brainer, but it is basically decision time for you. So if you know what movie this is from, everybody does. Of course, you take the blue pill or the red pill. I think the red pill is the one he takes. I can't remember which one. Anyway, I've got another bonus for you. Okay, how to get free leads for your funnel or opt-in funnel. That's about a $297 value. I could create basically little mini courses around all these bonuses very easily and sell them separately. But some of you may have already seen what this is because a lot of you did it when you signed up for this webinar. But I'm going to show you what I did and how I did it and kind of the results that I got. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Okay, so that's bonus number 4, $297. Bonus number 5, tools you should be using. That's about $297 value. So it's a tale of two people, Lazy Larry or Take Action Ted. And I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for using these because I didn't really screen them. But if that's you in either of these, I apologize. But Lazy Larry, he's not going to do a thing. He's just going to keep on eating those Cheetos. Take Action Ted, he's going to dive right in. Fist pump champion, he's going to go to town on this. So I'd rather have a bunch of Take Action Teds. Even if you're female, you can still be Take Action Ted. So let me show you how. There's the deal. ppccoach.com/traffic. BETA30 at checkout. That'll get you the 30% off just because I like you. So what you're going to get, if you need to add all this up, you're going to get the course, $24.85 value, cherry picker method, $12.97 value, how to create the perfect audience for your ads, $9.97 value, private Facebook group, this is going to be awesome, $14.97 value, free leads for your webinar or opt-in funnel, $2.97 value, tools you should be using, that's number 5, right? $2.97 value. Total value, $6,870. But you're going to get 30% off for basically $6.97. If you have questions, I'm going to go through them now. You can post them also in the free PPC Coach Facebook group, and you can find that right from my page. It's very easy. Most of you are in there already, but get started now, okay? This is stuff that I am so excited to show you guys because it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to go through a couple questions. If you have any in here, please do post them. And let's start at the top. I know once we got through a couple of ones there, let me just go back here. Okay. first question is, holy cow, there's a lot of questions. Okay, so here's a guy. Stephen, when testing a new necklace design, do you still do 8 hours split between morning, evening, and $20 spend and optimize for conversions? Yes, I do. That's still my testing method. I'm scheduling for the best hours of the day, and I'm giving it $20. And if it's getting a conversion, then I'm definitely launching it. If not, I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, I know a lot of people struggle with testing and physical products and print on demand, but it's something that you can't skip. It's vital. It's going to save you money long term. Can you do that question with physical? I just answered. Oh, okay. That was a while back. Okay. Do you need to be in the video, or can you do images with voiceover? So Dave, you can absolutely do images with voiceover. And in Camtasia, I even show how to do that because I do a demonstration of a video for basically this webinar, and it's me doing a voiceover. And I use another trick that some guys have seen me use before, but it's using some background footage and then having like a BuzzFeed style video where there's text on top and text on bottom, and then I'm just kind of reading it. So it's really cool to do that way. Here's another question. Oh, Pierce, so you create a necklace, buy it, when you get it, create videos. Yeah, if I have a big selling necklace for print on demand, I absolutely buy it and I create videos. I do 100%. I've even got a new style of video where I saw it once on a Facebook ad, and it's basically one section is a video and then there's static images, and people were saying, oh my god, how'd that guy do that? And then I went into Camtasia and I did my own, and it looked really cool. So the left half of the kind of image is a moving video, and then the right side is like close up of the necklace, but static images. So it works really, really well. Here's a question. What if you don't have many fans on your fan page? So Jeff, you can get more fans very easily. Simply you can buy likes. And I know a lot of guys say don't buy likes, they're a waste of time, but they're a necessary evil in order to bring down your costs. So I got a lot of ones there. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through. Here's something. Okay, so how much budget to start these days and how many days? I see people saying 5 is not working, so you need $20 per day, which is tough if you're on a budget. That's true. The new method that I'm working with starts at 5 a day, but you can go as aggressive as you want. And the key is I'm increasing the daily budget on winners, and I can do that manually, or I can do that with automated rules. So it's a really neat way to scale, because if I do it automated with Facebook's automated rules, then I can it's hands off. So they're increasing my budget. And other little trick, since you guys are on here, I also set up automated rules to decrease my budget, to drop it. So if the ad set starts losing performance and the cost per purchase starts going up too high, or cost per lead, I have a rule in place that will cut the budget down so that it doesn't continue on that money-sucking trajectory. Hard to say that. All right, another question. What is your opinion on successful ROAS, so return on ad spend percentages, and do you prefer scaling by increasing budgets or duplicating smaller budgets into a lot of ad sets? So what is your opinion on successful? Oh, the number for return on ad spend? I don't even look at return on ad spend because the numbers that Facebook is reporting are bloated. So people that are going by that number are going by false numbers. So if you ever look, I think the one column that everybody loves to show is like a number. It's probably inflated by like 3 or 4 times on the revenue side. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I haven't really been looking at ROAS much at all. I look at money in and money out more than anything. As far as scaling, I do both. I add more ad sets, and then I do scale by increasing budgets on the winners. Okay, I will also decrease the budget on ones that have been winners, but they start falling off, and I'll leave the budget alone if it's within my parameters. Okay, so how do you know when you are close to success? Well, that's a good question. If you start seeing sales, you start getting leads, whether they usually it'll start trickling in, then you know you're close. If you're getting sales, you're further ahead than like 50% of the other Facebook advertisers who quit. So if you're getting sales, you're doing something right. You just have to look at what you're doing right so you can expand on it. Okay. Just going through a couple more here. I can, I will, I do. That is the only vocabulary that should be present. That's how I lost 100 pounds in 11 months. Oh, good job, Mindy. Speaking of which, I lost 100 pounds in 106 days. But I was very, very motivated at that point in my life. That was about 5 years ago. I gained back a whole bunch of it, but that's what happens basically when you have another kid. Anyway, congratulations. That's awesome. So, problem exists between keyboard and chair. Pebcac. Huh, nice, Hale. That's awesome. Just going through. Yeah, a lot of people are into thin air. That was the name of the book for Everest. That was it. Thanks, Mike. That is totally it. Okay. Another question from Steve. Do you cancel the other ad sets when you're scaling? Yes, I do. I launch a lot of ad sets, so I kind of launch like an army of ad sets, and then I will basically pause anything that is not working for me. And my theory, well, not my theory, my practice is pause quick, scale fast. Okay, and or pause quick, scale hard, I should say. So if it's a winner, I'm finding that it shows right away. If it's a loser, it shows right away. There's really no gray area with this. We're talking about smaller budget campaigns. There's no gray area. So when Facebook first launches your ads, they launch it to like 500 to 1,000 people, and you can tell right away if it's going to work, if they hit the right bucket of people within that audience. And I do cover that extensively in the course. There's a whole video on the bucket theory and what it means. So let me go here. Bunch of ones, two. Oh, no, you have Gear Bubble course. That's cool. Awesome. There's a lot of good stuff in there. It does still work, but Gear Bubble course was geared to Gear Bubble. This is geared to everything. Another question. Oh, Andrew. Hey, buddy. Okay, so when you're duplicating video ads, do you into the ad set and also add more targeted audience from the suggestion box? If it raises the audience by 200K, is that a good thing? Hope the questions make sense. Well, if I'm duplicating the video ads, I'm not really changing much. It's staying the same. If I do a new experiment, then I will add in more from the suggestion box, and we can cover more of that one-on-one for sure. Leave the URL up, please. Okay, it's up there. Sign up for sure. Awesome. Awesome. No, there's no PayPal on this one. I'd have to hook it up to another payment processor. And I didn't want to go through JVZoo on this because their fees are insane. They want 5% for doing nothing. So I apologize for that. I'll see what I can do about PayPal, but I don't have it available on that page. That's through Value Add-on, and it processes through Stripe. Another question, do you still start with a 1200 by 1650 PPE? For Gear Bubble, do you still use the default mockup, or do you use a different one like Don does? Yes, I use 1200 by 1650. I also use 1200 by 628 link posts, and I also use 1200 by 1200 video ads. So I launch a lot, and I hit a bunch of different objectives, and I'm always trying to find the best one. And I'm constantly surprised at which one works and which one doesn't. So there's no black or white answer to that. PPE though is something I don't necessarily start with lately. I start with conversion, and I go right for the purchase event. Okay, it just seems to be more powerful. So, what is your definition of winning ad? It's one that is profitable. So I know my break-even numbers. So if I'm trying to generate leads, I set a goal and I say, okay, I want to pay, I don't know, $350 per lead. And then I can work backwards and do all my numbers and figure out my projections. And I know if I'm paying more than $350 a lead, I don't want to run that ad set anymore. But if I'm paying less, I want to scale that ad set. Okay. If I'm doing print on demand, which I do a ton of, a number I throw out all the time is 27 because that's what I make on my necklaces. So I know if I'm making less than 27, so if I'm spending more than 27 to get a sale, it's not a good one. That's not a winner. But if, say, I'm at about, well, anything below 27 is a winner in that case, and that's something I'm going to scale. So, would you suggest I still go through a GB course for background or get stuck into this new course straight away? They are mutually exclusive, so you can go for either. This one has a couple new things in it that I've never shown before, and a couple new spins on some old methods, but it is really good. Yeah, money in, money out. That's how I do it. Okay. If I show you my designs before I invest my rent money, can you tell me if I can make my rent back before it's due? If I had that ability, I'd be retired and living on an island somewhere. Here's the thing with designs. My opinion doesn't matter. Okay. Yes, I've seen a lot of winners and I've seen a lot of losers, but I can't say to you that you show me your designs and I guarantee you this one will work, but that one won't. Because unless I'm your target audience, my opinion doesn't matter. What matters is the opinion of your target audience. So what I would do is I would test those designs with your target audience, get the data from them, and unfortunately you do have to spend a little bit of money to get that data back. But it's going to tell you right away, and it's going to save you money long term. All right. So I can't tell you, and I know a lot of people do show me designs and they want my opinion on them, and I'm like, that looks pretty. That's ugly. That might do better because it's ugly, but I don't know. Like if you show me a necklace for a wife, well, I'm not a wife. So yeah, I could buy one for mine. And would I buy that for mine? Maybe, but I'm not I'm not the target unless it's a gift, I guess. So does this course expand the e-commerce business, or does it also address other businesses like online courses and coaching? So Juanita, the course is all about getting traffic to funnels. So what I show is like pixel placement for funnels of various types, and it's not really geared to e-commerce directly, but everything in there can be applied to physical products, courses, webinars, opt-ins, print on demand, basically anything under that you can run a Facebook ad for, local business. This will work. So, so for someone with a low budget, how much do you believe is a good amount to test with? It depends on what you're testing. If you're testing a physical product, like for print on demand, $20. If you're testing for leads, a little bit less, maybe $10 to see if that ad set is worth it or worth pursuing. Okay. Oh, awesome. Cool, Pierce. So I got a couple of people in already. That's cool. Planning on buying? What's your preferred audience size these days? 500K, 2 million, or 4 million plus? So, Mike, the bigger the better for me. I love my 10% lookalikes, and I do cover that in the course too. The broader you can go, the higher you can scale. So I love, love, love big audiences, way more than smaller ones. And can you help us focus on Christmas traffic? Well, I'll tell you right now, the traffic doesn't know what season it is, but you do. So you need to be making products that are attractive and make your ads that are attractive for the Christmas season. So every single ad that I've been putting out there lately has this makes a perfect gift, perfect Christmas gift. I put that in my ad copy. I'll even start changing out the backgrounds so that it's saying things like or having like snowflakes in the background or Santa or reindeer or stockings or whatever it may be, or cute dogs or anything like that. So we're gonna end here pretty soon. We're coming up on an hour, but as kind of the last thing I'm gonna show you guys, and I love that everybody hung around too. That's awesome. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it. Do you want a sneak peek of the course? Give me one here if you want to see what's behind the closed doors. Right on. You guys are awesome. Cool. All right. I got like 20 here. I'm gonna show you. Here it is. like I said, this is big. Okay, there's 61 lessons. This took me a long time. Just ignore this top part. That won't show up for you. But here we go. Okay, we got the standard stuff, the prep stuff, getting people to view your page, placing your Facebook pixel code properly, webinars, opt-ins, products, auto webinars. Auto webinars, these are really neat. I've been looking at these quite a bit. They're very cool. Who should you target your ads to? There you go. How should you approach your audience? What is an angle? What's this word? Survey? Well, that's new. How to drive traffic to it? How to read the results? This part is something that not many people even talk about with Facebook ads, but this is what I was talking about. If you can find the pain point, have them tell you what it is, then it is awesome to just create ads that speak to them directly, right? Image ads, what are they? Preparing with Photoshop, preparing with GIMP, paid, free. Video ads, what are they? Creating with Camtasia. This is a long video. Creating with your phone, another long video. Letting Facebook create your ad. How do we do that? That's kind of cool. Outsourcing your video ad. Videos are huge. Cold traffic, what is it? What's a bucket theory? How fast do you want to go? Cold traffic campaign setup explained, over the shoulder. So watching me on the new Facebook dashboard, because they merged the Ads Manager and Power Editor. It may not have hit your account yet, but it hit mine. So these are all very up to date. The most up to date videos that you're going to get. So duplication, scheduling, warm traffic. This is a beauty. Evergreen retargeting, creating your audiences, creating a page post over the shoulder, managing, setting it up, looking at your data for future ad sets. Okay, this is where you're buying data, right? Rules, automated, scaling, lookalike, scaling. Thank you. What to do next? Here it is. That cherry picker method. It's right here. It's a big video. How to create the perfect audience, right there. The private group, right there. Well, it's on Facebook, but how to get in there is in there. How to get free leads for your webinar, right there, or opt-in, and tools you should be using. So as you can see, it's ready. That thing took me a long time too. I'm very proud of it, but we're coming up on an hour. So yeah, it took me, thanks Andrew, it took me a long time. So one last question. When you create a new ad set for a winner, do you point to an existing ad to retain likes and such? 100% you do. With Facebook, you can have, I point all my ads to the same post, unless I'm doing a split test of different ads. Even then, I'll create a whole bunch of ad sets that will point to one post, and then I'll create a whole bunch of other ad sets that will point to a new post, and I'll see which one does better. And then I'll just continually fire ads at that post because you want to retain the likes, the comments, and the shares for social proof. The highest I think I got up to was like 3.5 million on the views and like several 100,000 on the likes and comments and shares. And but then when it gets too big, you run into the issue of there will always be some negative feedback from somebody. Somebody somewhere will not like something you do no matter what you do. Like haters are going to hate, right? So after, I think that one ran for like 3 months, it just stalled out. And I had to go into the insights for the page, for the post. And I looked at it and I saw that the negative feedback was starting to add up. And I think there's a threshold that after a certain amount, Facebook will take that into their relevance score, which is like Google's AdWords quality score. And if it's too high, then they'll actually slow traffic to the ad, or they'll just charge you more to run it, and then it becomes not profitable. But that's kind of a sidebar. But yeah, absolutely. You want to run all your ads to the same post, and you can do a duplicate of the ad because it gives it a new ad ID, but it's the same post ID. So from Facebook's point of view, that's a new ad. That's a new bucket of people they're going to show that ad to, even though it's the same post. Hope that makes sense. All right, boys and girls, I appreciate your time. Thank you again so much for coming out. I do see buyers in there already, so I'm blown away. I totally appreciate you guys doing that. If you do have any questions, email me, hop in the free group. I'm going to see a lot of you guys in the paid group too, because you've already purchased, so that is just wicked. You guys got a good deal too, because this is going to $9.97 next week. So I'm probably going to send out a replay, run that for a little bit. But next week the price is going up. So you guys got a steal. Thanks for coming out on a Wednesday night. Unfortunately, for me, found out the guy from the Tragically Hip passed away last night, so that's kind of bad. So you know it's live because that was last night. That's Gord Downey. I don't know if there's any Hip fans in here, but they're a very awesome band. So thank you. Thanks for coming out, and we will see you guys at least in the free group. If you're not in there, get in there, and have a great night now.